Easy. Well, after the new immigration system was talked about quite a lot last week, it's not a surprise that it's been the topic on Question Time. And I was quite surprised to see that a very smart woman in the audience has just given the Question Time panel an absolute battering on immigration. And it's quite surprising, actually, that the BBC allowed her to talk for a minute and a half without cutting her off. So I'll put over the rest of this video on how to show you what she said. Take a look.
Interesting what you're saying here. 68 million people now live in England, going up, UN estimates. At what stage does the panel and people think this country has had enough? That we should close the borders, completely close the borders, because it's got to the stage now is there's no education, schooling, infrastructure. It's enough. We are sinking. Surely someone's got to see common sense and say enough is enough. You've got people flooding into this country that cannot speak English. I've come from London. In the National Health Service, everything's written in different languages. How much is that costing? How much is it costing for the interpreters? Sorry, madam, how much is it costing for the interpreters? I was in hospital last week. The interpreter never turned up for the people who couldn't speak English. She was paid. They all had to go on, and all the radiologists stood around doing nothing. What sort of country is allowing this? What sort of country is allowing this tourism to come in? You arrive in a plane, you get free service, you can have your babies, you can just carry on having it all for free. Why haven't they got points set up in the hospitals and you pay like you do in every other country you go to? You wouldn't turn up in America and be allowed to go for free.
Let's let the panel answer some of those points.
So as you can see there, fact after fact after fact, she schools them. And it reminded me of an incident that I saw on the BBC from the local Yorkshire local BBC news about a year or two ago now, when there was a argument coming up about there was a lot of mothers saying that they couldn't get the children into school because there were no places. And the BBC Look North were covering that. And the guy that were talking about it, he starts laying out the problem and how the BBC have been contacted to say that people can't get the kids in school places. And he even said then after that, he said, now why could that be? And I just thought, do you know what, mate? I can't imagine. It's almost like they just willfully ignore the fact that the high immigration level is grinding our country to a halt. And this woman there has just sock it to them in absolute brilliant manner. Okay, let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Till next time, easy.